My beloved child, I am coming to you in this quiet moment to ask you a question that I know has been echoing in the silence of your heart for quite some time now. A question that brings tears to your eyes when you are alone. Have you been knocking on doors that seem welded shut? And does it feel like no matter how hard you pray or how much you try, absolutely nothing is moving in your life? I see you standing there, weary and worn out from the effort, wondering if I have forgotten the address of your heart, or if your prayers are simply dissolving into the ceiling without ever reaching my throne. I want you to know that I see every knock, I hear every sigh, and I am closer to you in this hallway of waiting than you could ever possibly imagine. I know that the silence has been loud lately, and the stillness of your circumstances has started to feel less like peace and more like a prison, causing you to question if you have missed your way or if you have somehow disqualified yourself from the blessings I promised. You have watched others walk through open doors with ease, while you seem to be stuck in a holding pattern, circling the same mountain over and over again until you are dizzy with fatigue. But I want to reassure you that this stillness is not stagnation, and this silence is not an absence of my power. Rather, it is the deep breath before the plunge, the necessary pause before the symphony of your life crescendos into a new movement of glorious purpose. You have carried a quiet heaviness in your chest, a dull ache that comes from longing for a change that seems to be delayed indefinitely, and you have tried to mask it with a smile so that no one else sees the depth of your discouragement. But you do not have to hide your heart from me, for I am the one who formed it, and I know the specific weight of the burden you are carrying. I am here to lift that weight off your shoulders today, to replace your spirit of heaviness with a garment of praise, and to whisper the truth that the doors you thought were permanently closed are merely awaiting the precise moment of divine alignment. There is a weariness in your soul that sleep cannot cure, a spiritual exhaustion that comes from trying to force things to happen in your own strength, because you are afraid that if you don't make it happen, it never will. I want you to lay down that crowbar of control, my child, because you cannot break open the doors of destiny with human effort. They only open to the key of my grace. Rest in the knowledge that I am the doorkeeper, and I hold the master key to every opportunity, every relationship, and every breakthrough that is written in your book of life. You have been feeling unnoticed, as if you are invisible to the world and perhaps even invisible to me, stuck in a season of obscurity where your gifts are hidden and your potential is gathering dust. But I want to remind you that the seed must be buried in the dark soil before it can break through to the sunlight. And your obscurity is not a rejection but an incubation. I have hidden you in the shadow of my hand to protect you while you grow, to strengthen your roots so that when the door finally opens, you will be able to withstand the winds of success and the pressures of the new elevation. The fear of being left behind has whispered lies to you in the middle of the night, telling you that you are too old, too broken, or too late to step into the fullness of what I have planned for you. I want to silence those lies right now with the power of my love, for I exist outside of time, and I can redeem the years that the locusts have eaten in a single moment of favor. You are right on schedule, my beloved, and the timeline of your life is perfectly synchronized with the rhythm of heaven, even if it looks like a delay from your earthly perspective. Now, I want you to pay attention to the subtle shifts in the atmosphere around you, the spiritual imprints I am placing on your heart that signal the changing of the guard and the turning of the tide. You have begun to notice unexpected invitations appearing in your life, small opportunities and new conversations that seem to pop up out of nowhere, sparking a little glimmer of hope in your spirit. These are not coincidences. They are the first rays of dawn breaking over the horizon, the initial stirrings of the wind that will soon fill your sails and propel you into the open waters of your destiny. You are finding that the old doors, the ones you used to bang on with such desperation, now feel dead and unappealing to you, as if the desire to enter them has simply evaporated from your heart. This loss of interest is a sign of my grace, for I am weaning you off the things that are no longer big enough to contain the person you are becoming. You are less willing to force things that do not fit, less willing to compromise your peace for the sake of progress, and this new standard is evidence that you are ready for the greater things I have in store. There is a sensation growing within you, a green light in your spirit that is quietly glowing after a long season of facing a red light. And although your mind may still be analyzing the risks, your soul knows that it is almost time to move. This internal witness is the voice of my spirit guiding you, giving you the unshakable conviction that the blockade is being lifted and the path is being cleared. Trust this feeling, for it is the sound of the chains falling off and the bolts unlocking, signaling that your season of stagnation is officially coming to an end. You have noticed that your conversations are changing, that you are connecting with people who speak the language of faith and possibility, rather than the language of fear and limitation. I am aligning you with new tribes and new communities, because the door I am about to open requires a support system that can handle the weight of your glory. These new connections are prophetic signposts, pointing you toward the future and away from the past, and they are here to help you carry the vision that I am birthing in your life. Your tolerance for drama and toxicity has plummeted, and you find yourself walking away from situations that drain your energy, choosing to protect your peace with a fierceness that surprises even you. This is not you being difficult. This is you being discerning, recognizing that you cannot carry the baggage of the old season through the narrow door of the new one. I am refining your circle and purifying your environment so that when the blessing comes, it lands on fertile ground and is not choked out by the weeds of distraction. You are experiencing a heightened sensitivity to my voice, hearing me in the lyrics of a song, the words of a stranger, or the quiet whispers of the wind, and these confirmations are coming more frequently than before. I am turning up the volume of my communication because we are approaching a critical junction, and I need you to be tuned into my frequency so you do not miss the cues. This spiritual sensitivity is a gift, a sign that your ears are open and your heart is pliable, ready to receive the instructions for the next leg of your journey. Even in the midst of the uncertainty, there is a strange, underlying peace that has settled over you, a peace that surpasses all understanding and defies the logic of your chaotic circumstances. This peace is the anchor I have thrown into your soul, holding you steady while the waves of change begin to rise, and it is the surest sign that I am in the boat with you. When you have peace without a plan, you know that you are walking in faith, and that is exactly the posture I need you to have as we approach the open door. You have felt a sudden urge to prepare, to clean your house, to organize your life, or to learn a new skill, even though you don't yet know exactly what you are preparing for. This nesting instinct is prophetic. It is your spirit getting ready for the guest of honor, for the breakthrough that is knocking at the door. Follow these promptings, for they are practical acts of faith that demonstrate to the spiritual realm that you are expecting a visitation and that you are making room for the increase. The things that used to scare you no longer hold the same power over you, and you are finding a new courage rising up in your belly, a boldness to dream big again, despite the disappointments of the past. This rising courage is the Lion of Judah roaring within you, awakening your spirit to the reality of your identity as a conqueror, and a king. I am infusing you with holy confidence, because the door I am opening will require you to step out of your comfort zone and walk on water. I want to speak directly to the struggles that have left bruises on your heart, specifically the rejection fatigue that has set in after hearing the word "no" more times than you can count. I know that each closed door felt like a personal slap in the face, a confirmation of your deepest fears that you are not wanted or not good enough. But I want you to know that I have collected every tear you cried over those rejections, and I am here to heal the wounds of your self-esteem and remind you that a no from the world does not mean a no from heaven. You have battled with the voice of doubt that questions your worth, wondering if the reason the door stayed shut is because there is something fundamentally wrong with you. You have analyzed your past, dissected your personality, and criticized your own efforts, looking for the flaw that disqualified you from the blessing. But my child, your worth is not determined by an open door or a closed one. Your worth was settled on the cross, and you are precious, chosen, and beloved regardless of your current employment status or relationship status. There is a trembling fear inside you, a terror of missing the right moment again, because you feel like you have already let so many opportunities slip through your fingers due to fear or hesitation. You are anxious that you will not recognize the door when it finally opens, or that you will be too slow to walk through it, and this anxiety keeps you in a state of hypervigilance. I want you to breathe and release that pressure, for what is truly yours cannot be missed, and I will ensure that you are in the right place at the right time. You are suffering from hesitation paralysis, afraid to try again, because failure has become so expensive to your emotional well-being that you don't think you can afford another bankruptcy of hope. You have decided it is safer to stay in the hallway than to risk knocking on another door and facing the silence, protecting your heart from the sting of disappointment. But I am calling you to take a risk on me one more time, to trust that my hand is big enough to catch you, and my love is strong enough to hold you together. The confusion about which opportunity is truly aligned with my will has clouded your mind, leaving you paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake and walking down the wrong path. You have stood at the crossroads, paralyzed by analysis paralysis, terrified that one wrong turn will ruin your destiny forever. But I am your shepherd, and I promise to lead you in paths of righteousness. Even if you make a wrong turn, my GPS is always recalculating to bring you back to the center of my will. You have felt the sting of betrayal from those you thought would open doors for you, people who promised to help, but disappeared when you needed them most. This disappointment in humanity has caused you to build walls around your heart, making you cynical and hesitant to trust anyone with your dreams again. I want to heal that cynicism today and remind you that while people may fail you, I never will, and I do not need a human reference to open a door for you. The financial pressure of the waiting season has been a heavy burden, causing you to lose sleep and wonder how you will make ends meet if the door doesn't open soon. You have calculated the numbers 1,000 times and they don't add up, leading to a spirit of scarcity and fear that grips your heart every time a bill arrives. I am your provider, Jehovah Jireh, and I am sustaining you in the wilderness with manna from heaven until you reach the land of milk and honey. You have struggled with envy, watching others celebrate their breakthroughs while you sit in the shadows. And though you try to be happy for them, a little piece of your heart dies with every announcement. This envy is not because you are a bad person, but because you are a hungry person, starving for the fulfillment of your own promises. I am washing away that bitterness with the water of my word, reminding you that my resources are unlimited, and someone else's victory does not mean your defeat. The feeling of being misunderstood has isolated you, as friends and family question why you are still waiting or why you haven't just made something happen by now. Their well-meaning advice often feels like judgment, adding to the shame you already feel about your stagnation. I understand you perfectly, my child, and I approve of your waiting. You do not need to explain your season to those who do not hold the map to your destiny. You have dealt with spiritual dryness, feeling like your prayers are repetitive and your faith is running on empty, making it hard to believe that anything is actually happening in the spiritual realm. You feel like you are going through the motions, knocking on heaven's door with a weak fist, wondering if anyone is home. I am pouring fresh oil into your lamp today, reigniting the fire of your faith and giving you the strength to knock with boldness once again. The temptation to settle for less than God's best has been whispering to you, urging you to just take the open window or the back door, because the front door seems permanently locked. You have considered compromising your values or lowering your standards just to get some movement in your life, just to feel like you are going somewhere. But I am asking you to hold the line, to refuse the counterfeit, and to wait for the authentic blessing that brings no sorrow with it. You have felt the grief of lost time, mourning the years that seem to have been wasted in the waiting room, feeling like your youth or your prime is slipping away. This grief is real and I honor it, but I also want you to know that in my economy, nothing is wasted. I have been using this time to build a character in you that is timeless, a wisdom that is ageless, and a beauty that does not fade. The struggle with impatience has made you irritable and restless, snapping at loved ones and feeling like you are crawling out of your skin because you just want the next chapter to start now. You are tired of the character-building exercises. You just want the diploma and the job. I am teaching you the art of patience, which is not just waiting, but keeping a good attitude while waiting. For patience is the weapon that defeats the enemy's attempt to make you quit. You have felt like a fraud, pretending to have faith when inside you are full of doubts, leading worship or encouraging others while your own heart is breaking. This duality is exhausting, draining your energy and making you feel like a hypocrite in my presence. But I see your struggle and I do not condemn you. Your faith is not fake, it is just fighting, and I am fighting alongside you. The fear that you have heard me wrong has plagued your thoughts, making you question if you ever really heard my voice or if you just imagined the whole thing. You wonder if the promises were just your own desires projected onto a silent sky. I am here to confirm my word to you today. You did not imagine it. You are not crazy, and what I spoke in the light remains true in the darkness. You have struggled with the silence of the phone, the empty inbox, and the lack of feedback, which feels like a void sucking the life out of your dreams. This silence has made you question your relevance and your talent. But silence is often the sound of the stage being set, the curtains being drawn, and the orchestra tuning up before the grand opening. The weight of responsibility has kept you up at night, knowing that others are depending on you to break through, and feeling the pressure to not let them down. You carry the hopes of your family or your lineage on your back. I am asking you to transfer that burden to me, for my shoulders are broad enough to carry the world, and I will take care of you and yours. Finally, you have struggled with the fear of success itself, wondering if you are truly ready for the exposure and the demand that the open door will bring. You worry that you might sabotage it or that the pressure will crush you. But I would not open the door if I had not already equipped you to walk through it. Trust my confidence in you, even when you lack confidence in yourself. Now, receive this revelation that will set your heart free. Some of those doors stayed shut not to punish you, but to protect your purpose from a premature exposure that would have destroyed you. I saw what was behind those doors, the stress, the compromise, the people who would have used you, and I loved you too much to let you walk into a trap. I blocked the way with my own hand, acting as a divine shield, and though it hurt your feelings, it saved your life. You must understand that the right doors open by God's authority, not by your anxiety. No amount of worrying, striving, or manipulating can force my hand or speed up my clock. When I speak to a door, it opens effortlessly, without you having to kick it down or pick the lock. Stop exhausting yourself trying to be the heavy lifter. Your job is to be the faithful walker, and my job is to be the supernatural opener. The open door I have for you will match your character, not your desperation. It will require you to be the version of yourself that we have been building in the secret place. If I opened the door when you were desperate, you would have entered as a beggar, but I waited until you were ready to enter as a son or a daughter. The delay was necessary to ensure that your internal infrastructure could support the external weight of the blessing. I want you to know that I am the God of the suddenlies, but my suddenlies are usually preceded by long seasons of waiting that prepare the ground for the lightning strike of favor. What feels like a delay to you is actually the tension building in the bow before the arrow is released. You are about to be launched further and faster than you ever could have gone on your own, propelled by the stored energy of this waiting season. The door I am opening is not just about a job or a relationship. It is a portal to a new dimension of intimacy with me, a new level of kingdom authority. You are not just stepping into a new opportunity. You are stepping into a new identity. This is why the preparation has been so intense, because the upgrade is so significant. You need to realize that rejection is often my way of clearing the deck, removing the good to make room for the best, and sweeping away the distractions that would clutter your destiny. Every person who walked away and every opportunity that fell through was making space for the divine appointment that is coming. Do not mourn the loss of the good. Celebrate the arrival of the best. I am revealing to you that alignment is more important than assignment. Being in the right place with the right heart is more critical than simply doing the right work. The closed doors were my way of realigning you, adjusting your compass so that true north points to me and not to your ambition. Now that you are aligned, the assignment can flow freely without obstruction. Understand that my no is always a mercy, a protective barrier that keeps you from settling for a life that is smaller than the one I died to give you. I refuse to let you be comfortable in a cage, even a gilded one, because you were born to fly. Thank me for the closed doors, for they were the guardrails that kept you on the narrow path to life. The door that is coming will bring with it a supernatural peace that will confirm its authenticity. You will not have to strive to keep it open or manipulate people to maintain it. The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. That is the hallmark of the door I open. It will fit you like a custom-made suit, tailored perfectly to your gifts, your passions, and your personality. I am revealing that your waiting has been a form of spiritual warfare, a standing of your ground against the enemy who wanted you to give up and forfeit your inheritance. By simply standing and not quitting, you have won a great victory in the spirit realm. You are a veteran of the wait, and your medals are patience, endurance, and unshakable trust. You thought you were waiting on me, but in many ways I have been waiting on you. Waiting for you to let go of your timeline, your method, and your demand for control. Now that your hands are open in surrender, I can fill them with the blessings I have stored up for you. Surrender is the key that turns the lock of the door you have been staring at for so long. I want you to see that the door is not the destination. It is just the entrance, and the real journey begins once you step through. Do not idolize the open door, but keep your eyes on the one who opened it. I am the goal, I am the prize, and the open door is simply the invitation to walk closer with me. The confusion is clearing now, and I am giving you a spirit of discernment to know the difference between a distraction and a destiny door. You will know it by the fruit it bears and the peace it brings. Trust your gut, for it is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and I will use your intuition to guide you to the right handle. I am reestablishing your worth in your own eyes, showing you that you are worthy of the open door not because of what you have done, but because of whose you are. You do not have to earn the blessing, you just have to receive it. Walk with your head held high, not in arrogance, but in the quiet confidence of a child who knows their father owns the building. Finally, receive the revelation that the door is already open in the Spirit. It is a finished work, a signed decree. You are just catching up in the natural to what has already happened in the supernatural. Walk by faith, believing that the way is clear, and watch the physical reality align with the spiritual truth. My encouragement to you today is to stop camping at doors I didn't assign to you. Stop weeping over the handles that won't turn, and turn your face toward the new thing I am doing. Let go of the rejection, let go of the disappointment, and pivot your focus to the horizon where the sun is rising. Your future is not behind that closed door. It is in front of the open one. I call you to prepare your yes right now, to get your house in order, sharpen your skills, and cultivate the habits that the new season will require. Do not wait until the door opens to get ready. Get ready now so that when it opens, you can walk through without hesitation. Live today as if the call is coming tomorrow. Develop a routine of readiness, waking up each morning with an expectation that today could be the day, dressing the part, and acting the part of the person you are becoming. This expectant faith pulls the future into the present and creates a landing strip for the miracle. Show me that you trust me by preparing for the rain, even while the sky is blue. When the door opens, and it will open, I want you to walk through it without shrinking back, without apologizing for your presence, and without feeling like an imposter. You belong there because I placed you there. Stand tall, speak clearly, and occupy the space I have given you with the authority of the kingdom. Do not let the memory of the closed doors make you hesitant at the threshold of the open one. Leave the trauma of rejection outside the gate. Enter with a clean slate, a fresh heart, and a spirit of adventure. This is a new chapter, and the old plots do not apply here. I encourage you to be generous on your way through the door, reaching back to help others who are still waiting in the hallway. The blessing is not just for you. It is to flow through you to bless the world. As you water others, you yourself will be watered. Keep your eyes fixed on me as you transition, for the threshold can be disorienting, and I am your constant in the midst of change. Hold my hand tightly, and I will steady you. Do not look to the left or the right, but keep your gaze locked on my face. Celebrate the small openings, the crack of light, the squeak of the hinge, for these are the precursors to the wide-open entrance. Gratitude for the small things unlocks the big things. Be thankful for the little yes, and watch it grow into a giant amen. You are safe, you are loved, and you are led. There is no need to fear the future or regret the past. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and I have surrounded you with favor as with a shield. Take a deep breath, Release the tension in your shoulders and smile, for your redemption draws nigh. The waiting is almost over. The night is fading, and the morning joy is here. Trust me with the timing, trust me with the method, and trust me with the outcome. I have never failed you yet, and I am not about to start now. You are walking into the best days of your life. If this message has whispered peace to your soul, and you want to stay connected to receive more encouragement for your journey, I invite you to subscribe and join our family of believers. We are walking through these doors together, and I have so much more to show you. Stay close, my child.